SOS, a phrase you've heard over and over again. But what does it mean, and where the heck did it come from? Well, that's cheesy. SOS was a term coined during American independence at the Battle of Bertrude Falls, meaning Save Our Samuel. Hibido what, you ask? Let me explain. Back in the winter of 1779, Samuel Adams found himself toe-to-toe with a local moose named Bertrude, who frequented the nearby Danforth Falls outside of Boston. Long story short, while scouting for spots of secrecy to sabotage the Redcoats, who were called that due to their sloppy eating of beet stew, Founding Father Sam Adams, the beer man himself, was gored through the calf by that injection Bertrude, possibly in retaliation for him disturbing her moose's nest. Think a bird's nest, but 13 times bigger and an infinite times more gooey due to a moose's heavy afterbirth. Luckily for him and America's burgeoning independence, Adams was able to retreat due to the large hunting rifle he carried on him at all times. It's a big reason he was never allowed into any theaters at the turn of the century. But news spread quickly, and outside his hospital window, the public, with tears pouring down their piercing eyes, would violently scream, SOS, save our Samuel, to medical professionals who were failing to dodge the pelting of boiled onions as they ran into the hospital before rotations. And to this day, we honor Adams and Bertrude by carrying on the tradition of SOS, throwing produce at surgeons, and flicking beet juice at the British. My name is James.
I'm Nicole.
And this week on the podcast, we discuss Godzilla, Tokyo, Save Our Samuel as we close out 2021's Mechagodzilla Double Feature. Hey, usually I say ho, 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 but I ain't Santa today. I need to do a quick little thing. It seems like I shouldn't have to say this. However, yesterday I read the intro to another MLM co-host, and he thought it was true. So I do need to say that this intro, in fact, all of it, besides the fact that Founding Father Sam Adams might have been in Boston once, everything is false. But speaking of things that aren't false, it's my love for my co-host. Oh my God. The beautiful, my common law who's got me in awe, Nicole Jacobs.
Hi.
Nicole, we can't, or unless you have something big to talk about with your week, we have to scrap it. We need to get in. What? What's up?
It was just like a small thing.
Okay.
Now I feel weird, like I'm interrupting.
Well, I was going to just say, like, unless it's a big thing, we introduce our guest first, and then we talk about it so he can jump in and such.
Okay.
All right, guys. Unless you want to just screw him and say what you got to say.
No, I thought you were going to say that we weren't going to talk about it at all.
Oh, no. What's up? Why are you deering me in headlights?
You were going to introduce him.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. You've known this person for middle fingering daddies. You know him for saying the best minya is a dead minya, for having too much hard word while fingering middle style said daddies. You know him for taking a child's head and just twisting it 180, saying, ooh, call me a puppy. You know things about pre-bone. Hey, we're going to be getting full bone later. You know him for being an annual person celebrating the first annual Pissmas, molar eclipse of the heart, and for goddamn birthday punches, which are for sure not a real thing. It's just an abusive dad really wanting to hit a child, but gamify it, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, making his 10th appearance on this show, the guest superstar of Mostly Speakin' Sentai, Jose of Hit It and Crit It.
It's good to be back. It's like I never went anywhere. I feel just at home. As awkward as always. So, hey, also, birthday punches are a real thing. I asked Joe, and he said off podcast, he said it's a real thing. He just wants me to sound like I'm crazy.
Wow,
and it's not.
putting words into someone's mouth.
Yeah.
Just like a father put punches down yourself. Did he punch your dick?
No, not that I remember.
Okay. I watch videos of like people speed bagging penises. It's pretty cool.
What kind of porn are you watching?
It's not porn, it's competition.
Okay.
Next you'll be saying, oh, volleyball because they have their butts out. That's nudity. That's pornography.
Yeah.
Sure.
I gotta take my hat off to you, sir. Nicole, what was your week?
I just wanted to tell the story of, okay, so for people who don't know what zoomies are in regards to cats, is when they just randomly get super excited and just start running all over the place, which is terrible when you're watching a horror movie, specifically Fear Street 94, where things on screen are creepily dashing from one room to the other, and then you have your cat in the kitchen dashing around. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that was very terrifying.
But also kind of funny.
In retrospect, funny.
Yeah.
What if, I feel like we have made this joke before because it wouldn't make any noise if Socks pulled his hands out of like clothes in the closet, but then did the conjuring
You've
clap.
definitely made that joke before.
And little pop heads can't clap. Oh, what he has is he shook one of those monkeys down for their cymbals, and then he clapped those together.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
yeah.
like, shh, but then that's festive.
Or just like the ones that are just like finger symbols.
Those two, yeah.
Yeah.
Or he takes two thumbelinas, you know, the thumbtack when you're sewing.
The tiny
A
ladies.
thimble?
Like from the movie.
Is it a thimble?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He takes two thimbles, puts it in, and he punches it. But then I
Yeah.
guess he's like a superhero. A superhero does that. He goes like ting ting, and then bro. I might be thinking of Ben 10. I've never seen Ben 10, and I've referenced it twice today.
Also, you said zoomies. I thought you were talking about the store for a second. But I thought you were going to like rant about that store and be like,
No.
this place sucks.
That's why I explained it, because not everyone knows that term.
I thought it was like when you're on Zoom for a really long time and you ate a burrito and you're like, oh, I'm getting the zoomies, and it's you have to go to the bathroom,
Yeah,
but you're in the
yeah.
middle of a meeting, so you can.
Yeah.
Those are my zoomies.
Cool.
My Zaboomafumies. Oh, yeah. If you could, wait, hold on. This is a question I have, Jose.
All right.
If your spouse, because we were talking cloacas earlier,
God
if your
damn it.
spouse could lay an egg like a chicken, would you eat it?
I don't think I would. It doesn't sound like something that should be I don't know. I don't. That's a weird question.
Okay. Then, of course, the conservative right would be like, you can't eat the chicken. But then they're like, but we like eating meat. And it's like, okay, you can eat chicken, but only if you're a man. And by chicken, I mean a lady's egg that has not been fertilized. It's just there to eat the yolk.
Uh-huh.
Give a new definition of getting yoked up. I bet like men would start being like, or I guess women as well. They could have this fetish of like jacking off with the yolk. That's fucking savage. That's metal as hell, Nicole.
Wow.
Because then it would no longer be like Razakel
right.
has a lot of songs where it's like, I'm masturbating with my period blood, things like that. But then it would be like, I smashed an egg on my clit and I gave it a rub.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a real. I think the answer is just no. Sorry.
Stand-up comedians, women would be like, you ever sit down and your egg slips out and you're like, fuck, it's that time of the month.
Yeah.
I should have never said cloaca.
Cloaca. Because the reason of the season, guys, has a cloaca.
That's why you can't see his pee-pee.
Yeah, because it's innards.
Yeah.
What would you prefer it, Nicole, if men had internal sex organs?
I no, I don't care.
Okay. You never see a big old dangle and say, wowie.
Oh my god.
That's how you know it's true, guys. He said, "God."
No.
She's practically steaming right now.
I think all genitals are ugly.
What?
Yeah.
You don't look in the mirror and faint?
Even the name is gross.
Genitals fine. Okay, call it a dangle. That's good.
You ever heard the song "Show Me Your Genitals"?
No.
It's
I would
Sing it to
hardly
me.
call
it's like
that a song.
like early YouTube. There's a song called "Show Me Your Genitals," and the person who made it is in The League, the show The League.
Oh, it's
Taco?
John Yeah, then I have heard that. MC Deep was really into him.
Show me your genitals.
What's a better word for genital then? Sex organ?
Funny bits.
That's a good one. But sex organ makes it think like it's a synthesizer that's just real suave. Like it has a real warm sound. Like, oh, this is my sex organ.
Yeah.
It's a synth with a talk box, the sexiest instrument ever.
No.
Do you know what a talk box is?
Yeah,
Okay,
I know
it's
what a
the
talk box
most
is.
unattractive. If you can get laid after a concert where you used a talk box, you are just a god.
Sure.
I've seen people on YouTube because I've been really into like making beats lately, and I've been seeing a lot of people on YouTube using TalkBox. Or what I forget what it's called, but
Yeah,
it's
TalkBox.
just TalkBox. It's just a weird like kind of plastic tube you put in your mouth.
You have to make your throat real loose in order. It looks like you're either like it's something sexual or something very clinical and something is wrong.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a breathing tube.
Yeah, or a breeding tube.
I mean, if you get laid after that, it's a breeding tube.
Yeah.
Oh, someone pissed in the talk box tube, guys. We have to delay the concert. Someone tried butt chugging with the talk box tube, thought, hey, I can make my fart sound real warbly if I put a wah-wah pedal on the git fiddle and have a
Wow.
good time.
Yeah.
Guys, YouTube me
Yeah.
fart talk box.
No.
Steve-O
It's
should
probably
do
a
that.
thing already.
Yeah. But I want to see like a for real one. There's ways to synthetically do a synthesized noise, but to do it without the talk box, you can get that sound with the Fruity Loops.
Yeah, I believe you. I mean, I don't know much about audio engineering, but it sounds like
It's also
correct.
weird, like, to think that, like, California love. People are like, fuck yeah. But, like, that is someone with a tube in their mouth.
Yeah, it's a talk box.
And like, it's not sexy. The sound is, but it's kind of like, why can I think of it? They were clearly lip syncing their entire career, and then Milli Vanilli. There we
Yeah.
go. California love.
Now, do you think that was? Now, do you think that was Tupac using the
No.
voice box, or do you think it was Dr. Dre?
No, it was some studio musician.
Hey, you never know.
It's for sure neither of them.
It could have been Dr. Dre, like saying "fuck it, I'm just gonna do it."
I'd love to see Eddie Van Halen just like, or like dude from Slayer, just like, God hates us all, but then a tube in his mouth, so it's like, but it's distorted. It would sound terrible. Like all those pedals on there.
Yeah.
That should be the next project. Just talk box over heavy metal songs.
Yeah.
That's
but
the new style.
yeah, it is.
Do it.
This is a new style.
You'll start a trend.
Guys, I am so sorry and just all you have to do is YouTube Talkbox in action, whatever, and immediately you'll be like, okay, I understand what they're talking about. Like Justin Bieber during like, baby, 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 oh, if he would have wheeled out, or a tech would have wheeled out a talk box, who would have been like, this one's for all the single girls in the crowd. You'll find love someday. Whip out he has to wipe it off to make sure it's sanitized, put it in his mouth. It's also sometimes like when you have chew in your mouth and it's like in the corner, so it like bloats out one of your cheeks and he's like, blah, 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 blah.
That's like exact. James is using a talk box right now.
Yeah. I would try to affect that, but I don't have time. You want to know why? We have to get into the reason for this season. Talkbox. It's an insane, like, guys, it sounds cool. Talkbox is dope. I don't want anyone to think that I don't think that skill is good. Just the visual of it is Like some sex. You're like, wow, sex is amazing, but if you were to like pull out on yourself and like see what's going on, you'd be like, ugh.
It's like if somebody takes a picture of you sneezing, it's like,
oh, yeah.
you don't think it looks that ugly until you see the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, holy shit, that's what I look like? Mm-hmm. I've been there. I'm sorry.
All right, guys, today we are closing out our Mechagodzilla Double Feature with Tokyo SOS. Save our Samuels.
I know that wasn't real. Like, none of that sounded real. And
I don't know why Lil Corey thought that was real.
At first, I was like, okay, maybe. And then you started talking about other shit, and I was like, no, this is definitely not real.
I also came into this like, James, just go through it. Don't like try to make it flourishy because Jose's here. And every single time Jose starts laughing.
I was trying so hard not to look at you.
And during he went toe to toe with a moose. I was like, oh boy, it's so dumb. It's so stupid.
I was trying so hard not to laugh at that moment.
All right, guys. A quick synopsis for Tokyo SOS. Mechagodzilla's back and Mothra's there too, and some kid and an old man became DigiDestined, and they're trying to make sure Mothra doesn't kill the human race. And Mechagodzilla loves on Godzilla so hard that they fall into a trench. The end. I don't know.
All right, episode done.
I don't know where I ranked this in my ranking of all 32 or whatever Godzillas, 29. This one, the human element of it is so boring.
Yep.
And I think I always remembered this one being better than Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, but that one is so much better.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling you.
No, you've been telling me this is Final Wars.
No.
Also, I was really confused that like Mechagodzilla was like on the screen right off the bat, but that's because I didn't see the movie before.
Yeah.
Really confused about that.
Well, I'm really fun-fused and ready to go and talk about this movie. What did you think of it?
It was a movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad or good. I mean,
the fight scene at the end was really good, but I would have just watched that. I think it's the same for most Mothra movies besides GMK. I'm like, give me the final fight and then I'm done with it.
Yeah.
Which one was it that Joe and I saw with you guys?
Final Wars.
Final Wars. Okay. That one was pretty good.
The
I
only
enjoyed it.
ones you have seen are back-to-back releases from 2003 and 2004.
Oh, so Final Wars was the one right before this one?
No, Final Wars is the one right after this one.
Oh, okay. Like, it was a movie. They took their time with it, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't want to sit here and shit on them, but like, it wasn't a very bad movie.
Yeah.
It was what you expect.
Yeah.
We had some laughs and some notes. You know it's not either a very bad movie or a very good movie if I don't have all the page filled with notes. But right off the bat, I realized Toho backwards is hot, because that dog on screen has some steamy breath.
Dog?
Yeah, he's like a dog. He's walking on all fours saying, "Rolf, rolf."
Who?
Godzilla. Flip those words backwards. It's Aloe's dog.
No? Okay.
Yeah, Aloe's dog.
Okay.
He's a dog who's from Aloe's.
I mean, I always see
Ohio?
him as a cat.
Oh, dang.
Thank you. I had written that down. I said Godzilla looks like a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like Frank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's also kind of a dog walking on all fours saying,
No.
"Rolf, rolf." If he looks like a cat, sounds like a cat, has nuclear spines coming out of his back like a cat, he a dog.
Also, I know, like,
Sure.
being the director of cinematography for any movie, especially an action movie, is very hard. But you have to kind of, like... There was a lot of points in time, like in the final battle where Mothra and Godzilla are fighting, and Mothra would hit Godzilla, and next frame, Godzilla's on the ground.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't really see him or them hitting the ground or anything.
The biggest thing with that, Nicole and I noticed it right away, because it looked like Mothra was going to fly and swing him so he would slide into like a tall building and just go face first into that. But the next frame, he's just on the ground sliding underneath a bridge like he's on a slip and slide.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't even show him tipping over. It's just from
Yeah.
straight up to on the ground, which was a really awkward transition.
A jarring style.
And honestly, like in film, there should be a cause and effect, especially for like any action scene or any kind of action movie. You want there to be a cause and effect. You want to be able to see why the person's on the ground and what led to that. You don't want to see somebody get hit and the next frame they're on the ground. You don't know if they got hit and fell on the ground or if it didn't seem very seamless or didn't flow very right. And I didn't really enjoy that part.
Yeah, like if all of a sudden I see Yogi Bear and Boo Boo and they're saying, hey, we have this helicopter that we made from spare parts and we are going to use this to get all of the picnic baskets. Then all of a sudden they're crashed on the ground. I would have been one, what just happened there? And two, we would have missed the greatest joke in all of cinema where Yogi's like, what do we do when it starts breaking down? And then Boo Boo pulls out the emergency plan and it's just a crudely drawn drawing of them going like, ah! That's their emergency plan.
Yeah.
You should really think about starting like a Hanna-Barbera podcast.
Man, it would give me an excuse to start watching all of it, but I would never do it episode by episode. I would probably do chunks.
What the fuck were you talking about? That I was like, no.
Trancers?
No.
ICP?
Maybe?
Horror movies?
No.
This existed?
No.
What?
I don't remember.
Bright Eyes?
Never mind.
Connor Oberst? Pornography? You? Oh my God, I'd love to do a Nicole Jacobs podcast and just get people from your life and like we tell stories about you.
I would hate that.
Yeah, it'd be very invasive and not appropriate at all.
Yeah.
Like in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
It'd be invasive towards your private life.
Yeah.
So let's do it, guys. Next month on Patreon, we start another Bricks in the Wall.
Whoa.
And it's just everyone putting their brick in the wall. And at the end, it'll, you know, when it's like little
Maybe it was
pictures.
ICP.
Yeah, Sean was down to do it.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And I was like, please don't.
ICP, you like him?
Not particularly.
I'll read something about ICP later and you'll be like, holy shit, ICP is awesome.
No.
In their liner notes of Carnival of Carnage, they're
talking about this.
French Revolutionary type shit, guys, and it is amazing.
I have a question.
What's that?
In the beginning, when the Japanese Air Force is trying to figure out what the unidentified flying object is, the UFO, and it's supposed to be Mothra, and they're up above the skies. First question that popped in my head was, do you think you can see in a cloud?
A little bit, yeah. I've been in a cloud.
No, it would be like fog.
But I've been in a cloud before, in an airplane, and you can, it's like fog, but you can still see in fog.
Not really.
A little bit.
Sure.
I also like that you misspoke, but it's very funny. An unidentifying flying object, and it's like...
You also said virgining.
Yes, but I wrote that down on purpose. Because America is about to be born, and when you are born a virgin. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Unless it's some like Satanism shit, you know? Devil worshipping, I should say. And you're like...
You're born pregnant?
Yeah. And you're born dead, baby.
Okay.
No, you come out and you're just like, I have fucked.
Yeah.
Also, I know Mothra's good, but like Mothra's just so fucking ugly. I am so sorry. I just think Mothra looks ugly. And that is a statement that I believe it.
Okay, damn.
I think from the start of their legs down, like if you just cut their legs off, adorable. But once it starts becoming...
Yeah, they did the legs wrong. The legs are supposed to be furry too.
In the movie, like the legs were kind of like animatronic and they were moving. It looked weird and I didn't like it. And
it had straight up bug legs.
Yeah.
I don't like bugs. I'm sorry.
Me either. You ever had an infestation? That's been a recurring theme these past 2 episodes.
Yeah, actually, last apartment I lived in, there was an infestation there.
Of what?
When I
Unless
lived
it's a CR, I don't want to hear it.
When I lived there was nothing. We had no pests, no problems.
Okay.
And then a family moved in upstairs, and they left right away, which kind of seems like red flags. But after a few months, we realized we had roaches.
I said if it's CR, I don't want to know
I
about
thought you
it.
said
You
if you
said unless it's cockroaches.
No, I mean, hey,
I don't
tell
want to
me.
hear
Sorry.
about it.
So yeah, that happened, and then when we told the landlord about it, he goes, "Oh well, you guys need to clean up your mess first." We have no mess. I didn't have a dog anymore.
Yeah.
He said that there was too much clutter, and I was just like, "There's no clutter here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is a problem from the people upstairs that left, and this is a building that you own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should fix this." And my mom was like, "Oh, I'll just pay to get a exterminator." And I said, "Fuck no, don't do that."
No,
Like,
they should pay
he
for
should
that.
pay.
Yeah.
and fuck that guy. If I ever see him in the streets, I'm not gonna say
Get him in the sheets.
Give them the evil eye.
No, I'll just talk shit and call him a fucking pussy to his face because I hate him.
Oh, evil eye. That's an ICP song. Nicole knows.
Also,
Call
does Godzilla
him,
get
no, call him a
reincarnated?
testicle to his face.
I'll call him a testicle to his
Yeah.
face. Thank you.
Say what you said again because Nicole was talking over it.
I was gonna say, does Godzilla get reincarnated?
No.
Because I mean, if it's a different creature every time, it's still Godzilla. How do they have Godzilla bones for Mechagodzilla?
So the only continuity this has is from the original 1954 Godzilla film where he was oxygen destroyed, where everything besides his bones just evaporated in the ocean. So that's the bones from that, but was another Godzilla. Don't know how that came to be. It just is.
So it's like real ocean then, because like there's dinosaurs and aliens in the ocean.
Yeah, megalodons.
Yeah. The deeper you go, the more like extraterrestrial they look.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
No.
Yeah. It's cool. Just don't go in the ocean then.
Yeah.
I'm just saying in
It's
general,
fine.
it's just scary.
Stay in your trashy
Stay
glacier
in your
lakes.
lane, bro.
I don't know. I like water. I don't know.
Stay in your tubs.
I guess I will stay in my tubs.
Yeah. Well, he didn't want a glacier lake, so what's the next thing down from that?
Pool.
Okay, well, he likes tubs
Okay.
and Hubs.
Hey,
Shout out to Hubs, a
shout out to
restaurant
Hubs.
I've
It's
never
delicious.
been to.
I love it.
Wow, wow, wow.
Wow, 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 wow.
Why is it called so before it was called the Japanese Self-Defense Force.
Yes.
But in this movie, it's called the Japanese Xenomorph Self-Defense Force.
I think it was also in the last movie.
Maybe.
Because that's what my hat says, isn't it? I don't know where it is. There is an X on it. No, not that. That's a Greendale hat.
Yeah. And I was like, is xenomorph a real word? Like, and I looked it up. It's not.
Hey, no, it's not.
So I was like, that's weird that they would put that in this movie, that
Hey.
they would like add that to it.
Ridley Scott loves when people just take his stuff and use it in other thing.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
It is weird, though, that why they
Yeah.
wouldn't just, like, kaiju.
or just not have it in there like
Okay.
it was before.
Yeah, but now that it's specifically monster-based, you wouldn't be like, the Antarcticans are coming from Antarctica and trying to come to our shores violently.
That's like the most American thing you've ever said.
Well, no. I specifically chose a country/continent that does not have people on it.
Exactly. It's the most American thing you've ever said.
Is it? How?
Look, they'll find a way to say that somebody's infringing on our rights.
No, the damn Ruskies coming over to Japan trying to take them down.
Now you just sound like you're trying too hard.
Yeah, bro. I try hard and I die hard. I live fast, die fast.
Oh, man.
G.G. Allen. That's a dope song.
Also, did you guys notice that, like, some of the score kind of sounds like the Mandalorian score? Like, towards the end, it was when the old man was looking for the little boy. I know that doesn't sound very right out of context, but it sounds like the Mandalorian theme. If you just go back and listen to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will slightly disagree because as someone who has sampled a lot of Godzilla, this newer stuff there's nothing to sample. The Mandalorian, on the other hand, I hear that, I'm like, fuck. If this wasn't owned by Disney, I'd be sampling the shit out of it.
It's a really good score. It's by Ludwig.
Oh, dude from Childish Gambino?
Yeah. Yeah, he did that, Black Panther, Childish Gambino. He's doing a lot more.
Community, speaking of Greendale.
He's going to be he does a lot of like scores for different things. It's really good.
I mean, that's where he originated from. He didn't start out with like doing Childish Gambino.
No, I know that. I'm just saying like his scores are really good.
Too good.
You're like, I want to steal this and use it into something else.
I want to take it. He really does The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. New Girl as well. He did that.
I did not know that one.
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos of him making the music for Black Panther?
Yeah, I've seen a few of them.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Wait, or maybe that's just outside.
Yeah, I heard a door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I chain it?
I don't fucking know.
Because it'd be weird if like they're here for some reason and they're like, hey, we're trying to get in.
Who's here?
ICM, because they said about our tub. Tub lover over here is foaming at the mouth.
That's
you want to
me.
go check?
Frothing down south. No, I think I'm good.
Go check?
I'm good.
Okay. Apparently he's not good because he is checking.
Foaming down south. Okay, what's up? Ludwig, Godzilla.
So there's a scene where one of the pilots is talking shit to the mechanic main character. Is like saying, "Oh, you're just a mechanic. You shouldn't mix fire." Hold on. First of all, some of the most badass people I know are mechanics. So don't slander mechanics for me, please. All right, before I fuck you up, jump into that screen and fight you. Sorry.
So it was a good insult then.
It was out of place, okay? First of all, I will not stand for this slander against mechanics.
I won't stand this slander.
I'll send James on you, too.
And I'll friggin' punch you so hard that you say, that's gonna bruise later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right in the beginning of the movie, we meet a teenager and a boy, and he says, What a
fuselage.
Yeah, what a fuselage. And it's like, dude, this is why kids throw dirt at you. You are a fucking nerd jacking off about a fuselage.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Look it up. It's a component of a plane.
Okay. A fuselage. Okay, I know.
Duh.
A fuselage, I know.
Fuselage, yeah. I don't know what that is.
Which sounds like you finna lose or something. I don't know. Are tiny women or tiny men sexy? Like people, there's hentai of Tinkerbell out there, but if you were to see like a woman this size, anatomically just like to scale.
To me personally?
Yeah.
No.
Like if you got out a magnifying glass and they looked like, oh wow, this is a real person, would you like
it was like a tiny like Megan Fox or something?
Yeah.
Would you crank
it?
Okay. I think I might. Are you into giganticism?
No. I'm not. No. Sorry.
Okay. Nicole? Do you wish I were as giant as a kaiju and I sat on you?
All I wanna do
is
see you turn into a giant woman instead of me.
Speaking of the tiny women, the fuselage kid comes down after these people are like, it's Mothra. You need to.
Mothra will wage war on mankind.
I thought we were trying to be them.
No, I wasn't.
All right, I was. What did I say? Like the.
Because he goes, who are they?
Yeah, that's. I said like. There's
You're like, that's your first question?
Yes, it's just. It should be like, hey, what are those? Not who are they. Also, are they dangerous? Where did these come from? How are they here?
I'm surprised he even noticed them when he walked in.
I like how they, in the beginning before we see them, they're like, hey guys, why don't you notice us? And then they look and they were hiding behind books.
Yeah. I actually had a question. I was like, how do they travel?
Mothra.
But Mothra wasn't there.
No, Mothra was there. That was the earthquake.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I guess. All
Magic.
right.
I don't know. They disappeared too fast too. There's no way those tiny women could run all the way from the living room. Look.
That's why I'm like, how did they travel? Can they fly?
If you're saying that they travel through Mothra,
Guys,
or can they teleport?
have telekinesis.
I'd be down for that.
They are able to, when the fuselage starts going down, the kid
just
drops
a plane,
it.
and not the fuselage, just the entire plane.
They like whoop, and it hangs in midair, and then it goes back into the kid's arm, and they're like twins.
Yeah.
But still, just because they have telekinesis doesn't mean that I automatically assume they have other abilities. That could be their one and done. Like, that could be all they can do. You never know.
How they could do that is they could pick themselves up through telekinesis and jet set out of there.
I guess.
Maybe they hopped on that fuselage and...
Like, it feels like they were just trying to cram too much stuff into this movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it just ended up being boring because of it.
Mothra.
Also, do they...
Say the bones, they sure do.
Oh my god.
The Godzilla bones.
The bones.
Isn't it... What's the other movie where I was like, I swear this happens in another movie where Mothra dies and then an egg hatches.
I think all of them. There are a lot of them that this happens.
Oh, okay.
I think even in Final Wars, like Mothra dies and then gets reincarnated almost immediately.
Yeah.
GMK, it also happens.
See, and I thought
King of
that,
the
and
Monster.
I was like looking on my phone, and it does not mention that in the plot on Wiki.
Oh. Because it's so ubiquitous, it's like, that's assumed.
If Mothra's in it, it's just, that's happens.
Also, we find out that Mothra's symbol is the worst of all the Digimon crests, which is the crest of responsibility. It truly is the same exact symbol. And it's the most dork of them all. Joe
That
sucks.
tracks.
Oh my god.
Do you know what? You're going to defend Joe?
No,
Okay.
No, I
Good.
haven't seen Digimon forever, so I can't argue.
I'm a Digimon, a digital monster, and now I'm a champion.
A champion?
Yeah, champion. I'm a champion of eating hot dogs and getting laid.
So confused.
That's also not a reference to anything.
Wow.
I'm a champion of being on a mayonnaise farm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mayo nut? Do you guys have any mayo nuts?
We sure do, dude.
Hell yeah.
Tuna everywhere. I'm getting things in order. I'm making a record. That's what the uncle says. And he's like, got to start finding a producer, some studio space. I'm doing like a jazz, techno, fusion, new wave type style. You know, it's going to sound like Blondie, but not.
I think you even said that, like, this is fire after you said I'm making a record.
Yeah.
Speaking of spaces, their house or whatever is nice.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
I love it.
It's
thought
like
you-
a cabin almost.
It's a cabin down by the river.
I
and
totally
he's like
thought-
wearing a comfy cardigan and shit.
It's snowing, but it could also be moth
Yeah.
scales.
I totally thought you were gonna like bring up something else that we were talking about
No.
What?
at the beginning when they're trying to figure out what the UFO was. The fighter pilot goes,
airspace? I was like, what the? They kept saying like entering airspace. I was like, what the fuck even is that?
It just seems with context clues you should have known what it is.
Yeah, but I was like, what exactly does that mean, though?
It just means the area of air around that's for an aircraft to fly through.
Okay, think of personal space and then
I know, I understand now.
air now.
But when that happened, I was like, what does that even mean?
Nicole literally leaped out of her seat, threw the remote down and said, "No. No."
She threw her notebook on the ground and said, "I will not have this. I will not."
She threw a rock at Socks and said, "Google it."
No!
It's a cocaine rock.
Oh my god.
No, it was crack. We all know it's crack.
Well, yes, that's what I mean. Did I ever tell? I don't know if I've ever said this on a podcast before. A quick story. Was in a geology class in in Muskegon Community College. Was doing a presentation on specific mountain ranges. Everyone had to do it and had to say like what rocks are from there. And you like scroll through and say like, oh, this is. Hey, I was scrolling through like, hey, this is this rock, this is this rock, this is that rock. And then the last slide, I was like, okay, and anyone...
This is add rock.
Oh, I should have done... That would have been good. That would have not bumped my grade from a B+ down to a B-. I said, okay, and what is this rock? And everyone is so like fists on their chin.
This
like, what is
the
this?
Rock Johnson.
What is this?
Dwayne style.
I go, that is a crack rock. Next slide.
Oh
and
my
then,
God.
So quick. Next slide.
Yeah, that bumped me from a B+ down to a B-. And I was like, that's fine for the joke. I'm
Worth it.
Yes. That's what, 7%? That's good.
Yeah.
That's so fucking funny.
I'm a cool guy. Let's start plowing through notes because we are not getting past an hour today.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
That one fighter pilot, like he's like, I'm gonna punch you, and he like 2 for flinching style, but then he like pulls out his hand and there's a fly in it to be like, oh, he caught it. But I'm pretty sure that's always in his pocket, and he does that and
to make himself look cool.
Yeah, like I caught a fly, and it's just glued on there, so like it's always like he can like go like, huh, got it,
It's a party
bitch.
trick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a fly in an ice cube
Yeah.
or a snake in my burp.
Yeah. I feel like this is brutal. Like the scene where Mechagodzilla just like drills into Godzilla. There's just chunks flying everywhere.
It reminded me of
Unnecessary.
like a most extreme elimination challenge when like it looks like a bunch of chunks of foam are flying everywhere. Or like, no,
Because
it looks
that's
like
what it is.
Sesame Street shit. Like if
Yeah.
Cookie Monster is eating cookies and like from the behind shot you see all these like foam pieces fly out that are supposed to be cookie crunches.
Well, they couldn't do blood, so
Yeah, they should have.
they were like skin chunks.
Yeah. I think it's just exfoliating. Like all of that is dead skin on top.
yeah,
So he
yeah.
can't even feel that.
In the green goo, that's supposed to be blood. That's normal.
Yeah, that
It's,
is.
just, it's just regular discharge.
Sure.
you know?
No, well, it's like a
Then you have to electrocute it.
an
to close
aioli,
it.
not an aioli.
Wow.
Aloe Vera
An aioli.
type stuff. Also an aioli. It's a green mayonnaise.
Also an areola.
Yes, it's a milk coming from a Godzilla nipple.
Also, did you notice that? I know this. It's not what this is, but Mothra was winning by the power of moth piss.
Moth piss?
It's his scales, but it looked like
Okay. I do want to quick say it's also an Aurora Borealis.
just think
They're
it's
DigiDestined.
pollen.
It's the moth dust that's on you.
It's
I hate
scales.
moths. I want to punch all of them.
I don't like moths either.
I want to kiss all of them. They're cute.
That one dude's like, I can't let Mothra wreak havoc on Tokyo again. And it's like, dude, yeah, that's what the dude's telling you. What you want and what this dude wants are the same things, but how you want it will just make Mothra wreak havoc on Tokyo. Because if they don't return the bones back to the ocean,
Yeah.
Mothra, she will wreak havoc on mankind.
But then ends up not doing
Yeah,
that.
it's weird. This
Doesn't make
movie
any fucking sense.
There's so many times when someone says something like, "Hey Nicole, I just got done in the shower," and then Jose comes in and is like, "Whoa, James just got done taking a shower," and it's like, "Yes, we just literally
established that fact.
That happened like 5 times throughout this entire movie. It was so annoying.
I need to relook at where this stands on my ranking because it should be a bottom bitch. What that one woman who was like a pilot was like, all you think about is machines. I bet you never even gaze upon a woman. And he's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, the writers must be completely different because her character is not the same.
That's not the same character.
Okay, I thought it was.
Because they also say this man is the first to fly to pilot Mechagodzilla, but he's not.
Yeah.
I did want to say like,
no, if he's the first man, then yes, it's correct.
I do want to just say like, I do think about women, like Rosie the robot.
Yeah. 'Cause he's a mechanic.
Yeah. He likes machines.
That lady car from Cars.
Herbie Fully Loaded. Oh, and I also love Her with Joaquin Phoenix, possibly.
I like that movie.
Also, are we not gonna like mention this? the mom of the child just shows up once.
What?
Yeah.
When?
I don't remember.
When he went missing, she went up to the uncle and said, "Uncle, he's missing." About her son. She said, my son is missing.
I don't
She
even.
shows up
I
once.
don't even remember that
She
happening.
shows up
so,
once.
yeah, wow.
I had a joke like the man from Uncle, but I can't remember. Like, did I say the Godzilla?
The man from, the man from Don't Call Me Uncle.
Oh, yes, there. Thank you for remembering my dumbass joke.
Oh my
Because
god.
the teenage boy, even though he's clearly not a teen, he's been working in the workforce for 4 years.
He's not a teenager. He's in the military at this point. So he's supposed to be a mechanic for 4 years. So at this point, he's probably like 22.
Yeah. And the kid is also calling him uncle, and he's like, "Don't call me uncle." And I said, "The man from Don't Call Me Uncle." If you're, oh nope, I already asked you that. I was gonna say, if your spouse laid eggs, anywhere the symbol is written, Mothra will come. So like, people should just start
Gross.
writing that everywhere. Ooh, jizzing all over the sky. I shed tears for twins because the twins start crying when Mothra's egg reveals twins.
Twins.
Oh, and on the drill thing, I was like, the driller killer, baby. And then Mothra larvae start crawling inside of it like maggots.
Yeah, they're gross.
Did you notice that the little kid had like an old man run to him? Like he was running like his grandpa, like or his uncle. Like they ran the same way.
A boy running from uncle. Something like that. I don't know. That one dude when he fell in at the end when he's inside, which also is the same shit that happened in the last. It's that this part's recycled. They're like,
yeah.
"Oh, we can't man Mechagodzilla from the outside. Oh, I'll repair it." But the last time was like, "Oh, I'll just man it from the inside." But clearly they either have radiation. Why didn't she just have a radiation suit on?
Because there was no time.
Okay, well, he gets in a radiation suit, goes in, and then falls down, and then they're like, "We can't do it."
They said it wasn't ready for someone to be in there, so maybe they didn't even have a suit.
All right, but he falls in, and then like it stops working, and I was like, he accidentally landed on the eject bones button, and it's just like shoots the bones out, and it becomes like skin, the Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, the more that you like mention it, this just feels like a remake of the first one.
Yeah.
Like as if like in today's time people were like, "Oh, why is a chick the main character?" Blah 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 blah, and then they just like made another one, but it was just like a dude.
Like if Showgirls became or Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, they just remade that with dudes. It's the Brotherhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yeah.
Brotherhood of the Traveling Tank Top.
Yeah, which actually might be a good. I would prefer that. I mean, not prefer. I would actually like a remake like that if they're trying to instill like, hey, male to male relationships don't need to be like stereotypical. They can be loving and tender, like in Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Yeah.
What if it's Brotherhood of the Traveling Belt?
Like, don't let toxic masculinity get in the way of good friendships.
But if this were made in like 2006, it'd be Brotherhood of the Traveling Condom Packet.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because it'd be like, "Oh yeah, like, oh, this is my good luck condom. You might need it." And every time they're like, "Oh, I'm about to use it," but either the woman's like, "I'm on the pill so you can bust inside," or
my God.
like he slips and knocks his head and passes out before opening the condom. All these things, and they all come back together after a year of being out on their own, and they're like, "Oh, this condom's seen a lot," and then they
And the
rip
two
off.
main characters are the Deedles.
No, I was gonna say the two main characters maybe like use it because they've been in love the entire time, and it's like a happy ending.
Yeah.
Die Ranger. We're making movies here, guys. And
Write
then
it up.
finally, the Godzilla bones know how to type Japanese because I say sayonara, insert dude's name.
Yeah.
And that's the movie.
You honestly didn't really miss much, fans of the show.
Actually, I have notes still.
What's that?
Why does Gamera show up?
Yeah, I don't know why that turtle is just there.
Like, were they trying... Like, there has to be a reason why they did that.
They did that to show that, A, that Godzilla's back, and B, to show that there's more kaiju in the world
Yeah.
than the two that we know of, Mothra and Godzilla.
No, we know of three.
Well, I don't mean like, were they gonna do a crossover?
That's
or
not really
something?
Gamera.
Yeah, but maybe they were going to though.
It's always been it's kind of like Freddy versus Jason, but not, because it's something that people always wanted, but I'm pretty sure the companies were too big-headed to be like, well, this person can't lose. Well, my person can't lose.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking about that bottom line, aka the
Speaking
cash
of
money.
that, someone talking about Godzilla versus King Kong, someone said that King Kong won, and I don't think he did.
Wait, in which one?
The
In Godzilla?
newest one.
Yeah, I think they both won. Like, neither won. They teamed
Yeah.
up at the end.
Yeah.
And if anything, didn't, like, Godzilla wreck his shit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Godzilla basically made him his bitch, and then King Kong was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then Mechagodzilla came around and
And then they're like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
they're like, no, we're the Alpha Titans. That's them
Do
screaming.
it again. Perfect.
Oh, no, it might be too perfect. All of a sudden, King Kong and Godzilla will show up at my doorstep, and not in the fun way like on Talking About Beyblade when Godzilla showed up.
Yeah.
That happened once.
Yes.
That show
I'm
has
aware.
changed a lot over the past
Yes,
year.
it definitely has.
I finally had guests on, and I didn't need to talk to myself in different voices. It's a perfect
Fantastic.
analogy for the pandemic, is the early days of Talking About Beyblade.
Too much time with yourself.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Oh, man, indeed. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. And time for plugs. Is it already there? Mr. 10.
I guess. I was going to say, are there any like final thoughts?
Oh, yeah. Final thoughts?
I didn't really. It was a movie.
Yeah. I enjoy the fight scene. I always love a night stage.
Also, they must have been They must have been fighting for so long because they started when they were still sun out, and then they fought when the sun was, and they were like finishing up when the sun was coming up.
That's how I like to make peanut butter and jelly, baby.
All night.
What?
Yeah. Sun up or sundown to sun up.
Okay.
Wasn't there was that Simpsons? I just thought of this when Marge was like, or maybe was this Duncanville where I stress make peanut butter and jellies and then just handed pretty much a loaf of peanut butter and jelly to one of the kids.
I don't remember that at all.
All right, someone out there, either a Simpsons fan or a Duncanville nerd, will tell us. It might be Duncanville.
Yeah.
Nicole, Jose, what you got to plug?
It's just the podcast that I've been on for a while, but haven't really posted anything. We just released an episode about a couple months ago, so it's Hit It and Crit It. You can find that anywhere you're listening to this. We have an Instagram that doesn't really get. I'm not going to plug anything else because we don't really do anything on it. So just listen to our podcast. We'll be recording soon, and I just want to say one more thing. Thank you so much for having me, and this was fantastic. I love you guys. I'm so happy to be back.
Thank you for coming over.
Oh yeah, and we're in the same room together, by the way,
Yes.
guys.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was also the big thing I wanted to like make a deal out of
Never
was
talked about it.
Jose, since Matt Diaz was on. Oh man, someone's outside getting cranky. Since Matt was on the episode released on March 18th, no one has been inside our apartment. So to do mostly speak in Sentai.
Yeah.
And finally, Jose's like, fuck it, bro. I'ma get you with it. And not only is it his 10th appearance, I thought it was your 11th, but I must have miscalculated.
Yeah, I think it's the 10th.
It is. Before I wrote down all the episode titles. So it is your 10th today. Mr. 10.
Mr. 10. And now I will never come back again. It was nice to know you guys. No, just
See you
kidding. I
later.
have to come back. I
I knew
have
it.
to.
Yeah,
This
because
is-
then Melzer will start picking up,
Yeah.
even though Melzer's at like 5 at tops.
Ooh.
Look, I have to beat everybody.
And someone might say his 100th episode appearance doesn't count because it was only for like 15 minutes.
That person isn't me, but I agree.
All right. Nicole, what you got to plug?
And it's in the new space too.
Yeah.
Fuck
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
You christened the new space, this virgining space.
Okay. I'm Darling Homebody on all the social medias. Patreon.com/Darling Homebody for a monthly sticker magnet. I'll also draw your pets on there. So yeah, check it out. DarlingHomebody.com for creepy cute stuff that I make. And I think that's all of it.
Hey guys, check us out on twitch.tv/mostly speaking Sentai. I've been playing finally a good Beyblade game and the Summoner. Plus, go over to MLMpod.com to find out information about our other podcasts such as Hit It and Crit It, This Movie's Gay, and us Mostly Speaking Sentai so you can share with your friends. Also listen to my rap music under Marshland Monster, which can also be found and downloaded on MLMpod.com or wherever music is found. And check out our Patreon, patreon.com/MLMpod, where you can get podcasts such as Talking About Beyblade. Jose's going to be on tomorrow's episode.
What?
And the Toku Reading Corner, Engage with Nicolas Cage, and starting next month, we have This Existed, where Lil Corey and I'm showing him movies that I have a hard time convincing people existed. Things that just fell under the radar and fell into obscurity, just like Godzilla into that trench. So check that out. It's $5 a month, gets you access to all of that. Every single Friday, there's a new podcast, and we've been doing it for over a year, so you have over 50 hours of content there. And if you're a $10 patron, you get exclusive streams, watch-alongs, plus shout-outs on every single friggin' episode. So let's give a shout-out to Steve F., a.k.a. Hit People Guy, Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z., The Waz, Orion, he's a rapper, his name Defo, Kayla, a.k.a. Two Grapes, Tyler Wright, Elliot W., and Jordan B., the Chaos Witch. I've been James.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Jose.
And we're on our way to Mechagodzilla. See you guys. Bye. See you in class,
Peace.
bitch sticks.
I love you.
This has been a Marshland Media production, produced by James McCollum. For more content, please visit MLMpod.com. To support our network and have access to exclusive podcasts, head over to patreon.com/MLMpod and sign up today. Alrighty.
After every intro, I just immediately think it's gonna go into the Die Ranger theme, just because it's just
Because you haven't listened to the show in 2 years?
no, not that. It's just like first time being on the podcast. It was Die Ranger, and my brain is conditioned to think because like that's the only one I like fully remember, and it's just every time I think it's just gonna go into the Die Ranger theme.
Every time you in the club getting tipped.